Going back to Lucky Paws on this week's episode of The Animal Rescuers.
The Animal Rescuers has been adopted by Pet Planet. There is nothing more important to us than your pet's health.
Can we go on a tour of your facility?
Absolutely.
Let's go. And this is oh look, this is the bunny room. Bunny kitty room?
Yes, this is the nursery room, and we always have the bunnies in here. They're litter box trained, and the kitties go back and forth over, and lots of times you'll find a bunny laying with the kittens in their arms, and they suck on the bunny's neck. There's a kitty sleeping in the bottom of the scratching post, and all day long they go back and forth, and they just have a really awesome relationship.
And what you told me is the bunnies, you will not adopt them out if people are going to cage them either inside or outside.
Well, if somebody has a large enough cage, we will. Not outdoors. These are not outdoor rabbits. No hutches. No way. We don't want them to live outdoors. I want people to learn about what cage-free is. You can safely have a bunny in an X pen, or you have to rabbit-proof your house. It's very important. You don't want them eating cords. You don't want them chewing up your walls. So it's really easy to teach people to go cage-free, and most people's animals love, like the kitties love them. So it's not a prey-driven kind of a thing where you have to worry that the cat's going to kill your rabbit. It's not like that. These rabbits can take care of themselves. Every animal, whether they're a baby or an adult, has a purpose, and these animals can definitely teach us a few things about love and compassion. And these older cats, some may live their life out here, but that's okay. They deserve to live their life out here, not die in a euthanasia room.
Well, they definitely love you.
Yes, and they'll jump on you too. This is our cage-free facility. There's 25 dog rooms that we build. There's 10 by 10 and 10 by 20 rooms depending on the size. We have an 80-foot yard back here, and all these dogs are in rooms that we've tested with other dogs that have came from a bad situation. So they've all come from trauma at one time. They get rehabbed here, they get loved here, and they get a lot of volunteer interaction, and they think we are their family. It's a really sweet environment, and then we adopt them out to the right people.
And you also shared with me that whatever you need, you're able to manifest, which I think is fabulous.
Whatever I need in any capacity of the shelter at any given time, I mentally put that out there, whether it's bleach. A bleach fairy will come by and drop it at the front door, whether it's cat litter. A lot of people stay in tune with me on Facebook, and I will tell them, gosh, we're getting low on cat food or whatever, and they'll bring it to us. So we have a constant supply of supplies, and we always need something. We always run out of something at any given time. So people definitely are generous and wanting to help every animal in here. So I really appreciate that.
I believe that happens to you because you come from a good heart. So can we go see what's going on back here?
Yes. So each row of rooms was $7,200. So as I got the money, we built the first row to move all the animals here. Then we did the second row, and then we did this middle section. So it was a group effort.
From the wildfire?
Yes, he was displaced from his home, and so that's where he came from. A lot of hound dogs come from wildfires. They don't have enough resources up north.
Sorry, buddy.
We'll take a dog when we can.
Well, I hope he gets adopted.
Yes,
That's
he will.
sad.
Everybody's day will come.
Yes.
There is nobody that won't get adopted. Everybody's day will come.
And when these were built all at separate times, but all
Yes,
donations.
the first section was built with the help of an architect. He donated his time, and I gave him the idea, and he put it together. So we built the first section, got all the wood and all the stuff, the first section. Can I say this? Kristen O'Hare, Pelt, from Pelt. Her dad owns a lumber company, so I strictly ordered all the supplies from her. So this is how we fill these cans with the foods that we need, and we go through about one of these every few days.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Well, when you mentioned Pack 911, that you work closely with them, I can't imagine where we would be without them. They do some phenomenal things.
They do some great networking.
Yes.
And they're really good people.
Absolutely.
Yes, they're heart-based people as well. That's probably why we connect with them.
Uh-huh. And what's down here?
I'm gonna let the puppies out, and then we'll go out into the yard with them.
Okay.
These came from the White Mountains Humane Society. I got their mom and them. The mom got adopted as soon as I got her fixed, and then they all just got fixed. 2 have already been adopted, and these are the last of them.
I live by faith, that is in me, and I know I'll survive.
Up next, a very special story of courage and perseverance.
Do you trust the food you feed? At Pet Planet, our commitment is to helping our customers navigate through the confusing world of pet food, reading ingredient panels, asking critical questions about manufacturing and ingredient quality. Our pets rely on us to make the very best decisions we can for their health, happiness, and longevity. Pet Planet is here as your partner in pet health, because there's nothing more important to us than your pet's health.
You can be a part of the animal rescuers also, making a difference for the animals and bringing your business to center stage. Become a sponsor for the show. Ad rates are very low for the summer, so now is the time to jump on board. And you can be an animal rescuer too. Make the call.
Welcome back to the Animal Rescuers, adopted by Pet Planet.
Hi, I'd like to introduce you to a special friend of mine. This is Mikki, and she's got a special message for you today. Mikki, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about how you ended up in the situation you're in.
Ended up here at this house. I lost the last place I had to live. People had helped me get it last year to keep my pets out of the heat, and found this place by the lady next door, and went through the tax records and found the owner of the house and told her my story and said, I need a place to live so I don't lose my animals. And, we met up, and she said, I'm thankful for you to be there. I'm happy for you to be there. And it's been a year now of safety for me and my babies.
Okay, wow. Does she charge you rent, or is she just letting you live here?
She just lets me live here. It's not livable. It's not habitable. There's no fixtures, and there's no utilities or anything. So it's not something she could rent. So basically she's just letting me stay, which kind of helps her protect the house from being damaged more.
Okay.
And helps me keep from losing my kid.
I know you're originally from California, correct?
Yes.
How did you end up in Arizona in this situation?
Well, this is one of the hardest parts of the stories. Due to some injuries I had many years ago, I've been a medical marijuana patient for many years, and I was out here last time I was working, and I had my medication with me. I got stopped, got in trouble, and never got a ticket, never got anything else, and went back home. And my disabilities got so bad after a couple years, I never traveled back out here to work. And then I did one time a couple years ago, and as they say, Arizona's little motto is come on vacation and leave on probation. So, I kind of got stuck out here taking care of old charges and, making it right.
I understand it just by looking. You have many animals. Where did you acquire your animals from? Are they adoptions? Is it acquired over the years?
Well, like Tumbelina here, she was the oldest as far as being in the family the longest. Meow. She talks a lot. The little runaway over there, Karma, we found her, and she was my kid. She was everything I ever dreamed of. Without going into the story, the things they did over the insurance, I told them I was going to name my next dog Karma, so I hope it bites them. This here is Bear. This is my little man. He's a 1.5 years old. As you can see, he has his mother's eye, and not quite his mother's eyes. He's my big boy. He's the biggest of our group. And this here is Kuma. If you happen to get lucky enough to see those eyes, she has the most unique eyes you'll ever see on Earth. Oh, good girl, Kuma. Yes, my baby. Yeah. And these two are the children of Karma. They came as a mistake. Spay and neuter your pets. It's always very important to do, especially if they're not the type that need to lead to other generations. You need to spay and neuter and protect from overpopulating. And, so many animals end up unwanted, unadopted. And it's the reason I still have these two, because I couldn't find the right family. I couldn't find the right people. And I was never going to take them to a shelter. You got Matai over here working his way over, and he's got his bad boy things and his shy guy days. He's a good boy. He is a rescue also. It was obvious that he had been hurt really bad. And I also have one more kitty he's not out here. He's a pretty shy guy. He's a Russian blue, not pure, but mostly.
Mikki, besides the lady who owns this house letting you stay here, how do you get through your day?
Well, first and foremost, it's by my faith alone. I live by faith. That is in me, and I know I'll survive. And based on that, God makes everything else possible. I have a wonderful lady who lives next door. Her name's Marilyn. And she, from the first minute I moved in here, she's like, use my water hose whenever you need it. Make sure the dogs have what they need. Come over, you need a ride, I'll take you somewhere. She takes me to the grocery store, cooks dinners for me, lets me go over there and cook sometimes. I keep cold drinks in there and ice bottles. I use each day to fill up my cooler bag with drinks and put ice bottles in there. And as far as the pets, they are the most spoiled homeless pets on Earth. We have wonderful networks, and as people like that have helped us in the past, like Chuck Wagon, Pet Pantry, and Lost Our Home Pet Foundation has just been an absolute godsend to us. Dr. Anderson at Animal House Veterinary Clinic. I met her this winter at the Arizona Stand Down for Homeless Veterans, and she was giving out free services for any veteran up there. And then there's like a lady, Lori, she come in and took me and Karma to the vet because it's way in Queen Creek. I have to have a list because it's so hard to remember everybody. And I know I can't fit all of these people in. My best friend and basically sister Camille, she's been there from the beginning. And angel number 1 and number 2 is a lady named Lisa and Beth. And they're the ones who made me have that apartment last year. Ariana and Chris, they're the most wonderful people. Aussie Mobile Pet Grooming.
If you would like to help Mikki out with pet food donations or donations just to her alone, you can go to her dog Karma over here laying down has a Facebook page, and you can link on to the address and go from there.
Mikki has a traumatic brain injury that led her to homelessness. She is working to get her veterans disability benefit so she and her fur kids can have a good home to live in. If she is not the face of courage, I don't know who could be.
The first Pet Planet store opened in 1996 after the devastating loss of our Cocker Spaniel to cancer. What we learned then about pet health was eye-opening. The food and the treats that we were giving him did not support his immune system and may have actually harmed him. Pet Planet was established to be a community resource, a store that offers only the healthiest products and the best knowledge on pet health issues. At Pet Planet, there is nothing more important to us than your pet's health.
You can be a part of the animal rescuers also, making a difference for the animals and bringing your business to center stage. Become a sponsor for the show. Ad rates are very low for the summer, So now is the time to jump on board. And you can be an animal rescuer too. Make the call.
Welcome back to the Animal Rescuers, adopted by Pet Planet. This is Tabitha, a very sweet little Pomeranian girl who is 10 months old and weighs about 7 pounds. Breeder Release Adoption Service rescued her from the puppy mill. She's social, sweet, smart, and very playful. She has a little balance and strength issue due to premature breeding, but that doesn't stop her from playing. She loves people and other dogs, but would do best in a home with small dogs that will not run her over. She needs a good home with no children and a stay-at-home parent who will give her lots of love and attention.
This week we add a new member to the Animal Rescuer family, Yoni Kachlon. He's a trainer who has many years' experience getting rescue dogs and their new forever friends on the same page training-wise.
My name's Yoni and I'm the founder and dog behaviorist for Balancing Paws Dog Care. The way I kind of got started was my parents couldn't afford to pay for school anymore, so I started walking dogs, and walking dogs turned into pet sitting for dogs, and pet sitting turned into having so many dogs I had to learn how to control them, and I entered a sweepstakes to go train under Cesar Millan, and I was lucky enough to win that sweepstakes and go work with him for about 5 days on his ranch. And that's kind of how I know what I know and understand how to work with dogs. So as you can see, we have a couple dogs here on their places, and the reason why we still have them connected to their leads is because just in case they decided to get off, these two dogs in particular used to get into some pretty vicious fights at home, and now they're kind of, they're learning to relax in an environment which is relating to how they would at home. So what we like to use is these little prong collars on them, which do look a little bit scary sometimes, but we like to make sure that we introduce them to the dogs properly, we size them up correctly, and we make sure that they are used very gently. Actually, they're actually they're a very stress-free tool to help communicate exactly what you need to their dog to mimic the bite of the mother. So if they do decide to get up, we just very gently grab the leash and put them right back on their place where we ask them to be. A lot of my experience comes from rescuing dogs off the euthanasia list for their particular behavioral issues, and I started working with them kind of on an individual basis. And then a lot of my clients would call me and ask if I had experience with rescue dogs, because these two dogs also in particular, the owners did rescue them off the street on their own, and they had no idea what happened in their past and why they might have had these issues that they had. So it's really important that we help these dogs get over whatever stress or anxiety or fear they might have had, because that's usually where aggression does stem from. So also, another thing that I like to tell people about here is any dog, no matter the breed, no matter the temperament, no matter the issue, can be helped. You see we have a pit bull here who's totally relaxing next to two other dogs that used to get into huge confrontations. So no matter what issue they have, if put in the right dedication, the right time, and patience, then we're able to help them get over their issues. So before we're done with this series, we're going to talk about several things, from crate training to leash training, to boundaries and how to create respect through eating and treats, and a lot of just basically what's going on in the dog's mind and how we can help them get over any issue they're facing, whether it be fear-based, anxiety-based, or even just kind of frustration-based, because getting them to exercise, teaching them how to exercise mentally and physically is something we like to do here, and that's a way that we really help them get over any issue. And I'm Yoni, and be sure to watch me regularly on the Animal Rescuers. Have a great day.
Welcome back. I'm Dr. Krista Gibson from Animal Medical Services, and this is At the Vet. Today we're going to talk about feeding bones to your dog. We all think that bones and dogs go together like peanut butter and jelly, right? Well, maybe not. Proponents of natural diets and raw diets and things like that suggest that feeding your dog bones helps clean their teeth, helps relieve stress, and maybe even provides some nutrients. However, if you ask a veterinarian whether you should feed your dog bones, you're probably going to get a resounding no. Why shouldn't you feed your dog bones? Well, that's a great question. First of all, they can be dangerous. Dogs at the ER present all the time with what looks like a regular old vomiting case, but after x-rays and a little bit of more diagnostics, we find out they have intestinal obstructions, maybe even esophageal or gastric perforations. Not only is that painful and extraordinarily dangerous for your dog, potentially even life-threatening, it's also very painful for your wallet. Treating an intestinal obstruction at the emergency room can cost upwards of $3,000 or even $4,000. Another reason that bones can be dangerous for your dog is that they're really bad for their teeth. Proponents will tell you that it will help clean their teeth, and it will, but it can also cause very irregular wear of the enamel, as well as chips, cracks, fractures of the teeth. Maybe that's not a big deal if your dog's not a model, but what can happen then is you have exposed roots and exposed pulp, and that can cause infections. Tooth root infections may seem like they're not a big deal to you because you can't see them, but what'll happen is your dog will get a swelling, maybe up here or down here, and that's a sign of a tooth root infection. The way we treat tooth root infections in veterinary medicine is either a root canal or a tooth extraction. And as we all know, anybody who's had a root canal, they're extraordinarily painful and uncomfortable. They're also very expensive as well. A veterinary dentist specialist can do a root canal on your dog's tooth, but that usually costs anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000. Even an extraction done at your regular veterinarian, which seems a lot more simple than a root canal, can easily be upwards of $500 or $800. Occasionally another, less serious problem can happen. Bones can lodge in the mouth or in between their teeth, and while that's not usually a life-threatening problem, it can still mean a trip to the vet and some pretty serious expenses. So, proponents will tell you that bones are very good for your dog, but most veterinarians will tell you that we see a lot of problems, and there's plenty of safe alternatives out there. You don't have to feed your dog bones. There are plenty of other things available. And if you want something to feed your dog, go ahead and ask your veterinarian. We can give you options whether you want teeth cleaning or stress relief or even just added nutrition, but we can help. If you really want to know what's best for your dog's oral health as well as overall health, see your veterinarian. Thanks for coming, and I'm Dr. Krista Gibson at Animal Medical Services, and this is At the Vet. Do you trust the food you feed? At Pet Planet, our commitment is to helping our customers navigate through the confusing world of pet food, reading ingredient panels, asking critical questions about manufacturing and ingredient quality. Our pets rely on us to make the very best decisions we can for their health, happiness, and longevity. Pet Planet is here as your partner in pet health because there's nothing more important to us than your pet's health.
The women we love, the women who love us, they are dying. Heart disease is our #1 killer, taking more lives than all forms of cancer combined. But we have the power to save those lives, our lives, because the greatest force for women is women. It's time to stand together, to fight harder, to shout louder. It's time to go red for women.
Hi, I'm Jen, and this is your Pet Planet Pet Tip of the Week. This week, we're going to focus on water safety. Whether you're taking your dog paddling in a canoe or out boating on the lake, please make sure you consider wearing a life jacket. Don't assume that your dog can swim, and in fact, even if your dog can swim, a lot of dogs are not strong swimmers. Consider this: if your pet were to fall overboard, would they have enough endurance and strength to avoid exhaustion or even hypothermia if they fall into very cold water? Fast currents can be stronger than his strength to outswim them. The distance to the shore may be further than he can swim. He may become disoriented and actually not even swim towards shore. A dog jumps from or is thrown from a boat at high speeds can be injured when they impact the water. There are many different types of life jackets on the market today. Canine Friendly is probably Pet Planet's favorite. Reason being, they are a bright orange color so they're easily seen in the water. This life jacket has adjustable clips at both the neck and the chest to make an easy fit for your pet. They also have a comfort grip off the top, so if you're having to reach into the water to grab you and lift your dog out of the water, it makes it a lot easier on you. You can also use these as a temporary harness when you're going from the car to the boat. There's a D-ring clip here for leash attachment. If your home has a pool in the backyard, this too poses very serious potential safety risks. Pool safety for pets is as synonymous as it is for children, and it goes far beyond just careful supervision. With pets and children, you should never assume that you can watch them all the time. It only takes a few seconds of distraction for either one to fly out the door and into the pool. Here are just a few of the issues you should consider. Dogs are just as much at risk for pool accidents as children are. Not all dogs have the ability to swim. Certain breeds, as well as handicapped and older pets, may have special difficulties. Keep the pool area fenced and secure. Purchase pet pool safety products that can help your pets get safely out of the water. These could include things such as ramps, again life jackets, and pool alarms. Pools are not the only danger. Ponds and hot tubs can also have the same fatal effects. Most importantly, never leave your pets unsupervised near open water, as accidents, they can happen in just a split second. One final consideration is after swimming pet care. Dogs that swim a lot are prone to what's called swimmer's ear, which is an infection that occurs when you leave the ears wet after swimming. The prevention is simple. After your dog goes for a swim, be sure to clean their ears thoroughly using an ear cleaner that's specifically designed for pets, and then make sure that you dry them thoroughly. Stay tuned next week for another Pet Planet pet tip. More of the animal rescuers coming right up.
You can be a part of the animal rescuers also, making a difference for the animals and bringing your business to center stage. Become a sponsor for the show. Ad rates are very low for the summer, so now is the time to jump on board. And you can be an animal rescuer too. Make the call.
Welcome back to the Animal Rescuers, adopted by Pet Planet.
Today's show was all about community, courage, service, and love. This is Kimberly reminding you, adopt, donate, volunteer, spay and neuter. Please share our show on Facebook, and you can be an animal rescuer too. We'll see you next time.
Okay, are you okay going in there? Or do you want to?
Yeah, we can go.
Okay, so a couple might climb up your back, but in a good way. Oh, you're so cute, Phil.
Many years experience. Ugh. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, there, you got one. Okay, now leave me alone. Hold on.
Well, first of all, they can be